Welcome to Whisper and Learn channel. In today's video, we'll dive into another engaging story to help you improve your English listening skills while enjoying a relaxing and stress-free experience. Each story is crafted to teach practical vocabulary, enhance your comprehension, and provide meaningful life lessons. So grab your headphones, relax, and let's begin.
The city was alive with the buzz of New Year's Eve preparations. Strings of twinkling lights hung across storefronts, reflecting off puddles on the rain-slicked streets. Emma Wilson walked briskly through the crowd, clutching a bouquet of lilies she'd picked up on a whim. She had promised her best friend Laura she'd come to the party at her loft downtown. But truth be told, Emma wasn't in the mood for a celebration. This past year had been relentless. A breakup with her long-term boyfriend, a string of work deadlines that left her burnt out, and a creeping sense that she was falling behind while everyone else moved forward. The thought of making small talk about resolutions she had no intention of keeping made her stomach turn. Emma stepped into her apartment, setting the lilies on the counter. She looked at the clock. 7:30 p.m. She had a couple of hours to decide whether she'd actually go to Laura's party or simply spend the evening in her pajamas with a book. Her phone buzzed. It was Laura. "Don't you dare flake. Be here by 9. It'll be fun, promise?" Emma sighed, smiling despite herself. Laura always knew how to nudge her in the right direction. By the time Emma arrived at Laura's loft, the party was in full swing. People mingled with glasses of champagne, laughing and sharing plans for the coming year. Laura greeted her at the door with an enthusiastic hug, a glittery headband perched on her head reading 2024. "Emma, you made it," Laura said, dragging her into the room. "Let me introduce you to some people." Emma exchanged pleasantries, but her heart wasn't fully in it. She drifted toward the window, looking out at the city skyline. The familiar ache of loneliness crept in, a bitter reminder of her breakup with Aaron 6 months ago. "Emma?" A voice behind her sent a jolt through her chest. She turned to see Aaron standing there, holding a drink and wearing the same crooked smile that used to make her heart race. "Aaron," she tried to keep her voice steady, "I didn't know you'd be here." "Laura invited me," he said awkwardly. How have you been?" Before she could answer, Laura appeared at her side. "Oh, good, you found each other. You two can catch up while I grab more drinks." Emma wanted to bolt. She hadn't been ready for this, but before she could think of an excuse, Aaron spoke. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice soft, "for everything." The apology caught Emma off guard. For months, she had played their breakup over and over in her mind, trying to understand what went wrong. Aaron had always been ambitious, chasing his dreams in a way that sometimes left her feeling secondary. When he took a job offer in another city without discussing it with her, it felt like the final straw. "I didn't mean to hurt you," Aaron continued. I thought I was doing what was best for both of us. But I see now that I handled it all wrong. Emma stared at him, searching for sincerity in his eyes. Aaron, I'm not angry anymore, she said finally. But I needed you to understand how it felt to be left out of the equation. I do now, he said, more than you know. Laura returned with champagne, breaking the tension. Emma excused herself to the kitchen, needing a moment to collect her thoughts. She leaned against the counter, staring at her reflection in the microwave's glossy surface. Had she truly moved on, or had she just buried her feelings under layers of work and distraction? As the clock ticked closer to midnight, Laura gathered everyone into the main room. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, holding glasses high for the countdown. Emma stood near the back, feeling the weight of the year pressing on her shoulders. 10, 9, 8. The crowd chanted. Emma closed her eyes, letting the noise fade into the background. She made a silent wish. Let this year bring clarity. Let me find my own path, my own happiness. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Cheers erupted and couples exchanged kisses. Emma opened her eyes to find Aaron standing nearby. He raised his glass in a tentative toast. To new beginnings, he said. Emma hesitated before clinking her glass to his. To new beginnings. A week into the new year, Emma was sitting in her favorite coffee shop, scribbling notes in her planner. She had resolved to focus on herself this year, exploring new hobbies, setting boundaries at work, and maybe even taking a pottery class she'd been eyeing for months. The cozy atmosphere of the cafe was a balm to her frazzled nerves. The smell of fresh espresso mingled with the faint hum of indie music playing overhead. Emma was so absorbed in her thoughts that she didn't notice the man approaching her table. Mind if I join you? A voice said. She looked up to see a man about her age, wearing a scarf and holding a coffee cup. Oh, sure, she said, moving her bag to make space. I'm Ryan, he said, setting his cup down. I think I've seen you here before. Emma nodded, feeling a bit flustered. I come here a lot. It's kind of my go-to spot. They struck up a conversation about their favorite books, the quirks of the coffee shop, and how the city always seemed to have a way of surprising you when you least expected it. Emma found herself relaxing, laughing at Ryan's stories about his clumsy attempts at cooking and his failed attempts to keep a houseplant alive. As Ryan left, he handed her a small card. My number. In case you ever want to grab a coffee. No pressure. Emma smiled as she slipped the card into her bag. Maybe this year really was about new beginnings. The weeks passed, and Emma found herself torn between two paths. Aaron had reached out a few times, expressing his desire to repair their relationship. He had changed, he said. He wanted to prioritize her this time. And yet, there was something about Ryan's easy warmth that made her feel seen in a way she hadn't felt in a long time. One evening, as she sat with Laura in her apartment, Emma poured out her feelings. "I don't know what to do," she admitted. "Aaron knows me so well, but there's a part of me that wonders if going back would just be repeating old mistakes." Laura thought for a moment before speaking. "Sometimes, moving forward doesn't mean cutting ties completely. It means choosing what aligns with the person you're becoming, not who you were." Laura's words echoed in Emma's mind over the next few days. She began journaling every morning, sorting through her feelings and fears. In those quiet moments, she realized that while Aaron's apology was genuine, their relationship had run its course. Holding on to the past wouldn't lead her to the future she wanted. On a rainy Saturday, Emma met Aaron at a small park near their old apartment. They walked in silence for a while, the only sound the rhythmic patter of rain on their umbrellas. "I've been thinking," Emma said finally, "about us, about everything." And Aaron's voice was steady, but there was a flicker of hope in his eyes. "I think we both deserve a fresh start," she said. "But not together. I need to figure out who I am without leaning on the past." Aaron nodded slowly. "I understand, and I really do hope this year is everything you need it to be." As Emma walked away, she felt a strange mix of sadness and relief. The chapter with Aaron was finally closed. Later that week, she texted Ryan, "Still up for that coffee?" His reply came almost instantly. "Absolutely. How about Saturday?" The months that followed were some of the most fulfilling Emma had experienced in years. She took the pottery class, finding joy in the messy, creative process. She set clear boundaries at work, reclaiming her evenings for herself. And as she spent more time with Ryan, she discovered a kind of connection that felt refreshingly simple and honest. Ryan wasn't perfect, and neither was she. But there was something grounding about the way they navigated life together. Small gestures like sharing playlists, exploring new coffee shops, or simply sitting in comfortable silence as they watched the world go by. By the time the next New Year's Eve rolled around, Emma hosted a small gathering at her apartment. Laura brought her famous spinach dip, and Ryan stood by Emma's side as they watched the ball drop on TV. The room was filled with laughter and warmth, a far cry from the loneliness Emma had felt the year before. As the countdown began, Emma felt a quiet contentment settle over her. The year had been far from perfect, but it had taught her something invaluable. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that lead you to the life you truly deserve. "Happy New Year," Ryan whispered as the clock struck midnight. "Happy New Year," Emma replied, her smile full of hope. Life doesn't always unfold the way we plan. It's messy, unpredictable, and often forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. But within those moments of uncertainty lies the opportunity for growth and transformation. Emma's journey wasn't about finding love or success. It was about rediscovering herself and realizing that every ending is, in its own way, a new beginning.
Thank you for listening to this story on Whisper and Learn channel. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable today. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that make learning English fun and effective. Let us know in the comments what you think of this story or what topics you'd like to hear next. See you in the next video. Happy learning.